Hi and welcome to Fun Swedish. Today we're going to talk about work. Some interesting and useful facts for those who work or want to work in Sweden. With, of course, some useful vocabulary. And who knows, maybe you will even be able to do the job interview in Swedish. So let's get started with some vocabulary. Ett jobb, ett arbete, en sysselsättning, ett yrke. Starting with some vocabulary for regular, everyday small talk. Work in Swedish can be said in a couple different ways. The easy one is jobb.
Give me a job, give me a job.
Just like the English word job, but with an extra B. Jobb. Jag har ett jobb. I have a job. You can also use jobb as a verb, and then it becomes jobba. Jag jobbar som lärare. I work as a teacher. This is of course a loan word from English. The older but still also popular word is arbete. Mitt arbete, my work. And of course a verb version, arbeta. Jag arbetar som lärare. I work as a teacher. Jobb and arbete are pretty much the same in most situations. So just use the one you like. There are some exceptions, like old compound words such as arbetsgivare, that we will talk about later. So in these situations, you would only use arbetsgivare and not jobbgivare because that would sound a bit weird. And talking about weird, here's a word that is very useful for that uncomfortable first small talk when you meet someone. And that is sysselsättning. When you don't want to assume that the person works because maybe they are a student or maybe they are retired. Who knows? In any case, here you can use the word sysselsättning. Sysselsättning is a bit like the word occupation. Vad är din sysselsättning? What is your occupation? Jag är student. I'm a student. So, sysselsättning works way better with those who might be on the younger side or might be students. And also for those on the older side that might be retired. And last but not least, the word for profession is yrke. Ett yrke. Mitt yrke är lärare. My profession is teacher. Mitt yrke är programmerare. My profession is programmer. Mitt yrke är rörmokare. My profession is plumber. Like you can see, many professions ends with are. Not all, but many. And here are some examples. Läkare, bagare, handläggare, brevbärare, domare, barnskötare, personlig tränare, tatuerare. You get the point. So if you're not sure how to say your profession in Swedish, then you can always try to put are at the end of the thing you do. Oh yeah, rekryterare is an important one since we're moving on to the Swedish job interview vocabulary. The job interview. First, you're going to need to understand the different roles. If you're looking for a job, then you're trying to become an anställd, an employee. Jag är anställd på IKEA. I'm an employee at IKEA. Vi bryr oss om våra anställda. We care about our employees. However, in the job contract, you might see the word arbetstagare, which is another word for an employee. But it really means work taker. The other side of this, following the same logic, will then be en arbetsgivare, an employer, which really means work giver. Jag gillar min arbetsgivare. I like my employer. And you will sure like your employer if they give you a nice lön. Lön is how we say salary. And this word is very easy to mix up with another word, lån, which is how we say loan. So remember, lön is salary and lån is loan. Maybe it helps to think about this cat to get this right. So you say lön. Jag får min lön den 25. I get my salary the 25th every month. Another thing you're hoping to get and would be good to ask about during your interview are förmåner. Förmåner is the Swedish word for benefits. And who knows, they might have Swedish lessons with Fun Swedish as a förmån. But we will talk more about that in next section when we talk about Swedish work culture. Other classic words, and perhaps a bit cliché, that you might hear in a job interview are styrkor och svagheter, strength and weaknesses. Moving on, you might also use the word kontor, office. And these days, you might even talk about jobba hemifrån, work from home, or also jobba på distans. There is, of course, a lot more that we can include here, but at least I think that those are the most important ones. We're now ready to talk about work culture in Sweden. Compared to other places, Sweden prides itself for having good work and life balance and flat hierarchies. And for that work and life balance, we have a lot of förmåner, benefits. Things like föräldraledighet, paid parental leave of a combined 480 days, and 5-week of vacation are standard here in Sweden. There is also vab, which is short for vård av barn, which is essentially leave days for taking care of your sick children and getting paid for it. So if the company that's trying to hire you is telling you about all these great benefits, just know that they are not special for them. It's actually standard here in Sweden. Another thing that is pretty standard here in Sweden is that you will get your lön paid out the 25th every month. That's why you're gonna see a lot of bars and restaurants empty the 24th every month, but completely full the 25th and the days after. There's even a concept here in Sweden called löningshelg, the salary weekend. The weekend right after getting paid. There's even a very famous Swedish song about this thing called Kung för en dag, King for a day, and it's sang by Magnus Uggla, a song about feeling like a king and spending all your money when the paycheck arrives, but eating noodles the rest of the month to survive. But then again, this is all standard. How do you know if a company is a good company? Well, a very popular benefit, förmån, that any good company has is friskvårdsbidrag, especially if you work in an office or in front of a computer. Friskvårdsbidrag can be roughly translated to taking care of your health subsidy. It means that you get an amount of money, usually around 2,000 or 5,000 crowns every year, from your arbetsgivare to spend on a gym membership, massage, or perhaps some car to be able to go to a swimming pool. Some kind of health-related activities, pushing the employees to be healthier, less sick, and more productive at work. A level up from this is friskvårdstimme, and that would be an hour every week during working hours that you can use to exercise. This is a fancy benefit. Another thing companies might provide is kompetensutveckling, which kind of means skills development. It might come in a form of a budget for you to take a course outside of work. But in the best cases, it might be an all-organized course paid by your employer. Like, for example, a Fun Swedish course with us from Fun Swedish. That's right, there are actually some people that have the luxury of having Fun Swedish courses with us every week, before, during, or after working hours. And if you want that at your company too, all you need to do is to get in contact with us. Or better yet, get your boss or your HR department to get in contact with us. We are already teaching more than 100 employees at different companies every week, and you could be one of them as well. If you want to know more, the link is up here and in the description below. And if they tell us that they saw this promo in this video, then we will even provide one free lesson for every employee for absolutely free. And for those who watch the whole video, here's a bonus word.
Do you know how we say union in Swedish? Union. Anyone else? Union. Facket.
Facket.
Oh. It actually is fackförbund, but nobody says it. We just say facket, which sounds, in English it sounds horrible. But that's the union. That's actually how we say union. Facket. Yeah, that's the union.
So that was it. Was there anything more you wanted to know? A word or something about working in Sweden? Let us know in the comment section below. Hej då!